I got my 3 favorite people in the world with me.
George Georgopoulos.
Phil.
Efrosini.
There you go. So we're going to start this week with an update on the NFL issues. To start this off, the players and the owners got together finally and actually had a conversation like we love to do, which we always push, have open conversations, be, honest, and just have difficult conversations you don't want to have. And so they got together, I think it was 4 or 5 days ago, something like that. The NFL players and the owners sat down and talked, and they talked about increasing the players' platform to talk about social issues, because the players feel like they don't really have the platform to do that, and the owners want to make them feel like they do and want to help the communities that they reside in, that their teams reside in. And from what the article I read was, all the conversations were really good conversations, and they were very productive is what they said. They stayed away from the national anthem topic because that's not the biggest. It's a big issue, but it's not the main thing that's wrong with the NFL right now. And so they kind of steered clear of that. But other than that, they're going to continue to meet throughout the year to find ways to increase the player's voice within the league, which I think is pretty damn cool. It's a big step up from when, what was it, 2 weeks ago, they were like saying players are going to be benched and, they're like disrespecting the flag and all this nonsense. And the one thing that was cool is that I really liked that they said this. Both the Players Association and the owners both said, they both said themselves, like both groups said, that Trump and his supporters are construing what is happening within the NFL, and they're taking away the point that everyone is trying to make. Because up to a certain point, like the owners agree with them, but again, money's money, and it's affecting their money because of what Trump has done. That's why I think Trump is a piece of shit, because he tweeted. Let me see if I can find this tweet real quick. It's in this article somewhere. But he basically tweeted that the NFL owners not making those players stand is a complete disrespect to the flag, and basically he was just announcing the NFL as a whole, which he is the biggest piece of shit in the world for doing that.
Absolutely. Not
just because, he could say whatever he wants, that's fine. He's got his First Amendment rights, right? But don't shut down people's conversations to try to progress our society. That's my biggest problem with it. He's saying what they're doing is wrong when they're just trying to make our communities better and the NFL as a whole better. But instead, he is trying to push his supporters to denounce the NFL basically and say, oh, if they're going to support these players and what they're doing, then we can't support them anymore. And it's a terrible, terrible thing to do. And I can't fucking stand him for it.
I just don't like the fact that he's using his supporters as a club.
Yeah.
Early into his presidency, people were finding out that whatever company he tweeted out against, their stocks would rise or fall depending on what he tweeted, actually. That shit would happen.
He's just as a president, you shouldn't want that. You shouldn't want to divide your country. And he does it every day. And I don't get why, people still support him.
Well, a lot of it might be because he's trying to, distract from something else. how long have we been talking about the NFL thing?
Yeah,
they're putting through laws now.
It's just, it's not even the fact it's the distraction. The distraction is a big deal, obviously. But it's just the divide he's creating is, terrible for our country.
Let's not put this all on him.
No, I'm not. But he's not helping when he should be the main person saying we shouldn't divide our country. Yeah. That's his job. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's his job. His job is to unite the country. That's why he's the president of the United States.
Yeah.
That's why, we need to get him out of there. I hate this man so much.
Well, let's not just act like getting rid of Trump will be this great, amazing thing. Don't get me wrong, I want the motherfucker out of there, but we'll still have a million different problems. The left is highly into fucking identity politics, which that works to divide us as much as anything.
Yeah. You're not wrong, but getting him the fuck out is a good first step.
Oh, yeah, but Trump's a bad thing. Pence is no better, but he's a survivable event at least. We can survive Pence. But
I don't agree with that.
I think we can because here's the thing.
Much worse.
You guys have to realize it's not just us looking at Trump going, oh, fuck, he just did that. It's the rest of the world, and we're losing our power on the world stage. Look at the Iran deal. Already people are starting to say if we cannot trust the U.S. government as a whole to hold up its end of the deal, we're just not going to make deals with them. That's a horrible place to be in the world.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't trust my fucking government. It's like
Nope.
I mean, I would argue we're in that place now.
What? Where?
We don't trust our government. at
No,
all.
this is worldwide, man.
I know. I'm just
talking
saying, but
worldwide.
like, so why wouldn't we try to get the person we don't trust out?
Once
but
again,
all
I'm-
of them.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I will not disagree with you. I want the motherfucker out. I prefer to have Pence.
Br-
I prefer to have Hillary over fucking Pence, and I prefer to have
Oh
Bernie
my
over him. But I'd rather
God.
have Pence over Trump.
Do you know how terrible of a human being Pence is?
Do you know how
And
terrible
I-
a human being
well-
motherfucker? Don't even start. Let's
Well,
not
here's
act
the-
like.
Here's the difference, though. People within politics understand that our president has some issues, right? You know, and that's created sort of a divide as well.
Yeah.
But politicians fucking love Pence.
Yes.
So I feel like a lot of things might slip through the cracks if Pence is our president.
People like Pence, most likely because he's predictable. Like, yeah, he'll try to probably try to push some bullshit laws against homosexuality, but I don't think those are gonna pass. Okay, if they could have passed them, they would have passed them. Let's not act like this is a what's it called, a dead subject.
I mean, I understand that, but like,
I mean, that's more of his agenda.
yeah.
You know, Trump doesn't really.
But that agenda still represents our people to the rest of
Yeah.
the world.
Yes.
We don't want that message out there.
Okay, dude, this is the best of a bad situation.
We need to get rid of.
Neither one's great.
I'm gonna be straight up honest with you right now. I'm much happier Pence is the vice president than Trump being the vice president. Because he's a fucking idiot, but Pence is a politician who knows the game, and his agenda is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I don't want to take those odds of him being able to play the game and to win.
Hold up, you think he can't play the game? You think a vice president just sits on their thumb? all
No,
day?
I don't. But he does not have as much power as the president does.
Yeah, but do you want Trump with that? I mean, shit, dude. His Secretary of State called him a fucking moron. Rex Tillerson called him a fucking moron.
Right. And the difference is if Pence were the president, he'd call him a fucking genius.
Yes, that's the biggest difference. Pence is not
So
just
that's even
some
scarier
idiot.
because nobody's aware of how fucked up he is.
No, people are pretty fucking aware. I mean, the guy thinks that there's no link between cigarette smoking and cancer, so we can pretty much draw some lines from there.
We know how
Well,
fucked
that's
up he
what
is,
this-
but we don't know how well he plays the game. Politics is a game. It's not just like they sit in Congress and just vote. No,
know.
there are backhanded things going on there that's a game. It's just a game to him. And it's better to have Trump as the president who's just there for the show and just there to be a popularity contest than to have someone who is a politician who we don't know his capabilities.
Okay, dude, be realistic. Do you want war or bad policies?
I want neither.
Bad.
Because you know what happens when you get bad policies? Things are shitty until they're overturned. And they will be overturned because people are already getting sick of Republican bullshit. There's a decent chance we gain back the majority in 2018. But wars are hard to end. There's been a history of presidents starting wars when they have low, what's it called? Approval ratings. No one's had lower approval ratings than Trump so far.
I get that, and that's a terrible thing. But we need to get rid of them both. Get rid of the whole entire administration. That's what we need to do.
Okay. Well, the only reason we can't impeach Trump, well, we can't really, not yet, because we need to find more evidence, even though we pretty much already have him admitting to, God damn it, obstruction of justice.
Yeah.
We don't really have something like that on Pence.
Honestly, if there's a president, like, I know this isn't the law, but like, what makes the vice president, like, if the president chose his vice president, his running mate,
Yeah.
they're not that different. Their views are not that different. The way they do business, not that different. You'd want someone running with you who you can trust and who you know will cover up the dirty shit you did. If
Yes.
you're going to impeach one, you need to get them both the fuck out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to be fair, a cabinet could do that with the 25th Amendment, but
But the president,
picks the cabinet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
that's why our system is terrible.
Not exactly terrible. It's better than everything else in the world. Yeah, no, not up for debate, really. I mean, it really is just the best system in the world. It sucks. It's like I said that one day. It's without a doubt the worst system, but it's better than everything else.
I don't think that's true.
I think it is.
I don't.
The problem is, it's a really great system, but it's been twisted. It's not what it was meant to be, so it is fucked up. And right now, it is one of the worst systems.
We need to fix it by getting these terrible people out of here. I know you're not disagreeing with me,
I
but
know.
it's like
This is you always compare things to a utopian vision. I don't like that. You always picture the best possible situation.
why would we not want that? Why
Yeah,
would we
but-
not want the best for our people?
Ugh, never mind. It's just because when you compare something regular to the best possible thing, the regular thing always seems shitty instead of comparing it to everything
That's
else.
why you always strive to make yourself better.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When you compare it to reality, what we have is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I understand that, but we can always be better. That's the
No
point.
one's saying that we can be better. Once again, we're both agreeing, and I just
No, because I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Like,
Yes, I know.
You want to
You
be
want-
the best the best country you can possibly be. You want your people to be the best people that you want the best for them.
yes.
You have to strive to be.
No one's saying that we shouldn't do that. I don't like the. Never mind.
But why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we have that vision?
No, because when you compare never mind.
No, go ahead, for real.
Literally, the thing I just said. When you compare something to a utopian vision where everything's perfect, and you look at what you have, it's always going to seem shitty.
I know that, but I'm saying why wouldn't we want to?
No,
Like that
No one's saying
shittiness.
don't strive for it. No one's saying don't strive for it. But I'm just saying stop comparing it to that. Always go towards the best you can be, but don't compare the best you can be to what you have.
Do you understand that in order to strive for something, you have to compare it to something else so you know what to strive
Not
for?
really. You can just look at it like, okay, here's where I am. Here's where
That's a
is.
comparison.
Okay, so moving on. I'll,
George, like, in order to compare something, you have to look at both things and say, this is where we're different. That's where I want to be, so I
don't
need to
really
go there.
I don't feel like arguing right now, dude. I don't.
Because you know you're wrong.
Because that.
Like, you're just wrong.
No, not really.
Okay. Anyway,
Circling back.
the whole point of this conversation, there's really no point to this conversation because he's wrong. However, the NFL is making, I'm proud of the NFL for making strides in order to make the game better and giving the players more of a voice that they deserve to have. So that's kind of what's going on with the NFL right now.
Do you have any questions about it?
I mean, I want to know why they didn't. Like, I understand why. Part of me understands why they didn't address the anthem, but like, I want to know, like,
Because it really
Where
was
they
never about the
stand.
anthem.
yeah, like where they stand on it.
Right.
Because I mean, in this article, they say the policy states that the players should stand for the anthem, and some have suggested the league would seek to change that to must stand. And then Roger Goodell said in a memo to the teams last week that the NFL prefers for players to stand during the Star Spangled Banner. Now, prefer and must are two totally different words.
Right.
So, like, where does the league stand as a whole upon this subject? Because they're still just like, they're not saying anything about it, really. They didn't change anything about it. So,
Right, but they're saying that they want to provide a different platform for
Yeah.
the players, right?
yeah, but they just, I want to know why they didn't touch on the game, since that's like the biggest issue that they have going on right now, is them using their platform during the game to not even, they don't even talk, but like to demonstrate against these things that are going on. Because I think that would be the first thing I want to know. Like, the players sit down and be like, why don't you want us to do this? And the owners tell them why. The players tell them why they want to do this, and they come to a compromise within it. And that compromise may be don't do it during the game, but if you want to use the interviews after the game to address these things, you can do that, or whatever the what. But why, with the country being so heated about what's going on during the game, did you choose not to talk about it? Is the biggest thing that I want to know. Like,
So they don't want to create controversy.
yeah, I understand that, but like how did that come about? Like, because everyone sitting in that room, they're thinking about that anthem. It's like,
Right. I'm sure they discussed it, and that's something that they're talking about. But it seems like from what they've released that it seems like it's in progress.
yeah, I just felt like they kind of threw it on the back burner though, because they didn't really. I mean, they talked about a lot of things. They talked about, they said that today owners and players had a productive meeting focused on how we can work together to promote positive social change and address inequality in our communities. NFL executives and owners joined NFLPA which is the NFL Players Association, executives, and the player leaders to review and discuss plans to utilize our platform to promote equality and effectuate positive change. We agreed that these are common issues and pledged to meet again to continue this work together. And I think that was Roger Goodell who said that. But
How are they going to allow them to utilize their platform? Like, what are they going to do?
that's what they have to discuss.
Okay.
And that's why I wondered why the anthem never came up, because that's one of their platforms. That's the only time they're really on national TV.
Yeah.
So I figured that would be something they would want to talk about, but I guess they just kind of.
They can change the names on the back of their jersey to hashtag.
Oh my God! If
That'd
they
be
do
good.
that, I'd probably stop watching it. Well, I don't really watch NFL
I think
anymore.
that'd be
but
awesome, actually.
no, that wouldn't be that cool. All right, we can go back to this Trump conversation you wanted
Could
to
you-
have. What?
Just for a second, could you imagine the commentaries on that game with the hashtags on the back? Number 33 sacked by a hashtag Baconator. Just
Oh my God! Stop! Why? That's not even.
be funny.
It'd be bad when someone decides to put the hashtag All Lives Matter across their back.
Oh,
I'm
no.
like, you're a piece of shit.
How many times you would get hit?
Oh my God! All right, so what did you want to talk about Trump in this?
So basically, I think 2 weeks ago, there was an attack on a drone facility we were building in Niger.
Si, senor.
4 individuals were killed. Green Berets.
Si, senor.
Yes. And then, only recently came to light, Trump said that he, wrote letters to the widows and such.
Which it's his job to do, yes. No, that's your. That's,
Okay, so, moving on. Didn't do that. Blamed it on the post office not working on Sundays. Then he said he'd give a phone call.
wait a minute.
I feel
That
like
is
his
true.
excuses are the excuses that I
minute.
used in college.
Right? Like, hold on. This man is the president of the United States, and you mean to tell me he can get a letter delivered because of the post office
Yes.
not delivering on Sundays?
Yes.
Which he's known about. How long has the post office not delivered on Sundays?
Infinity.
Okay. Why did, like, I don't understand.
Man, go ask him yourself.
Okay,
Write a
never mind.
letter. Just make sure it's not on a Sunday.
Because by that point, they just, like, push it back to Monday, and they'd still deliver it.
Yeah, so he blamed it on that. And then he said,
dude's an
I'm
idiot,
going to
man.
call him like no other president's done before. We'll get into that later.
You know.
So he calls him. As far as I know, the other ones went well.
Yeah.
But this one, person, one spouse.
What's it called? A person.
Yes. When he called one of the wives of the, fallen soldier. He was
You're
with.
struggling through this.
Look, man,
I know, it's fine,
because I'm
just go.
trying to think about when to introduce certain information.
You're good.
Okay, so what?
Nothing. Go.
Okay, so calls the woman. She was with a congresswoman at the time. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's irrelevant, I feel like.
No, it matters because she was the one who broke the story about the president saying what he was going to say.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Don't interrupt me.
Sorry.
Just for the rest of this fucking story.
Okay, sorry. My bad.
All right, so basically, she's with a congresswoman.
Interruption.
She gets called. Go fuck yourself. And it's on speakerphone. And at one point, he says the words he knew what he signed up for to the spouse of the dead soldier. People lose their shit.
Okay, and what's wrong with them losing their shit for that?
Because we don't know the context.
I mean, that's fair, but like,
Okay, well, his job is to call, notify them, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you actually look that up? Is that his actual job? Or
No, I didn't look it up. Do you want me to look it up?
yes, because
you can really go fact check people. We
Yes.
don't ever fact check
Anyway.
you, except for when we talked about sports, which you were wrong because Tracy.
I don't give a fuck
Hold
about
on,
Tracy. I
sidebar.
don't
Sorry,
give a
no,
fuck
sorry,
about
sidebar. He sat and listened to that podcast and took notes, my man. I'm talking about took notes to like, because the next time he sees you, it's on.
you're gonna pull out a piece of paper
It's
and just throw
on.
it
He
at me.
gonna have a fucking argument with you, bro.
Anyway, so yeah, people are freaking out. The reason I don't know whether we should be mad or not because the congresswoman is the one who broke this story. She's a Democrat. Okay, let's not act like these people are saints.
I just don't think it's as deep as you think it is.
No, everyone else is making a big deal out of it. I'm saying that we should not make this as big a deal as it is.
I mean, I think it's a big deal based on the fact that it's really disrespectful and
Like I said, we don't know the context. The person, the spouse themselves did not come out and discuss the actual phone call.
Okay, so under what context would that be okay to say
Like
that?
that's what I was thinking. Like
I don't
would
know.
you feel okay saying that to somebody with 5? She has like 5 fucking kids.
Think so. 5.
and one of her her husband? Yeah.
Yeah.
Her husband had just died. You think that's the time to say, "Oh, he knew what he signed up for"? In any context?
Yeah, kind of.
Get the. This is why you're a
To an
terrible
extent,
human
to an
being.
extent.
You're a terrible human being. You know that. I don't know why I love you, but you're a terrible
You
human
could
being.
say he knew what he signed up for. He was a brave man. He will be missed. You could say that. Is that so bad?
I mean, I think it's kind of fucking rude.
Oh, yes, to an extent. It's not as big as a deal. Well, it could not be as big a deal as everyone's trying to make it.
You know why it's a big deal?
What?
Because it's another example why he does not care about anybody but himself. At all.
Okay.
Do you not see the problem with that?
I'm not defending the man. I'm just saying let's all calm down before we have all the information.
But that's not. It's one of those things where this small event, because it's. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. That like if it was just this one isolated event, it's not that big of a deal. Everyone has a mess up when they're talking. It's fine. But he has continually showed us over his term that's been like what, less than a year.
yeah,
that-
little to no empathy for anybody.
You can't do that and be the president.
Oh, absolutely not. Remember when he
That's
insulted?
why-
Do you remember when he insulted the what's it called the?
The
I think they were
reporter.
Pakistani.
Or I was talking
Yeah,
about the reporter too. But
Oh, the reporter, absolutely. But remember the soldier from Pakistan?
no,
Who,
no.
well, what's it called? He was a Pakistani American, served in the military, died, and then Trump then went on to insult his family.
He has no empathy
Yes.
for anybody. His job is to represent us as a people. He has to care about us. He doesn't. But yet people still voted for him. People still support him.
I mean, during his campaign, he got his hands on like the purple ribbon or something, right? So
Purple Heart.
it's Purple Heart. Sorry.
It's
I
fine.
don't know.
No, it didn't.
So I mean, for me, that just kind of I knew where he was at in that sort of thing. So I'm not really surprised.
That's why this is a big deal, though, because it's like this culminating feeling of he doesn't care about us, and it pisses people off, and it should.
Yes. But let's wait for a second. Let's look at all the evidence.
I mean, you can look at all the
Okay,
events all
that's
day.
fair. Do you
but,
think
like,
there's going to be more stuff coming out?
Possibly. Because, like I said, the spouse themselves have not said anything about this. And, like I said, one of the other spouses of the fallen soldiers came out and said when Trump called her, he was absolutely courteous. So, you never know.
I mean, that's fine, but you have to. You don't get to pick and choose who you care about when you're the president. Like if they're an American, you have to care about them. If they're in your army that you're the commander in chief of, your job is to care.
The biggest thing about the story that doesn't make sense is the fact that the protocol for this procedure of notifying a family member of a military death is always deliver the news in person. Always bring a second person with you. And never abandon anyone until they have someone else to hold on to.
Did you really just look that up?
Yes.
That's why I love you.
That is the actual protocol.
I mean, but
So-
what president does that though? Like, I mean, I don't think Obama went to every fallen soldier, and.
But
Okay.
it's
Hold on.
but the other thing about it is it's not supposed to be the president. It's supposed to be a military status figure
Military official.
in dress uniform.
So, Cody is here. Y'all know Cody.
They know Frank Murphy and
they know
Genghis
Frank
Khan.
Murphy, Genghis Khan,
Genghis Khan.
and you know, I don't know if we ever put that other one out, but that's fine.
No, we put
Anyway,
Genghis Khan out.
No, the first one.
Yeah.
No, the young.
Oh,
Dusty-
no,
we didn't. Okay.
no.
Anyway,
No one knows.
Cody just showed me
Dusty
some
Dick.
articles that he found while he was sitting here listening, and it's two conflicting stories. Like he just showed
Yeah.
me the headlines, so I don't have time to sit here and read the whole
Yeah.
thing. But like, one.
It was the same thing. They were both going at the same thing.
No, I'm saying like, Trump said he denies it.
Oh yeah, he says.
Yeah, Trump says that he denied ever calling this woman and disrespecting her that way, and the woman's like, no, he
The mother of
yeah,
the dead soldier.
the mother,
confirmed it.
yeah, the mother of the dead soldier confirmed it.
Okay.
So is that
So-
enough?
That
Yeah.
I mean,
That's enough.
I don't need any more evidence
Also-
from the rest of his past, but like,
Also, I feel like if you just get off the phone with somebody and they say something like that, how encouraged are you to come forward and say, like, this is a problem or something?
Like, if you just, she's saying, like,
Do you think she really wants to do that?
Like right
Her
then.
husband just died, and she's
I
got
would.
5 fucking kids to take care
we've
of.
also
would
discovered
put-
that you're a psychopath in the past 2 weeks. So, like,
How the fuck am I a psycho? Okay, we're not gonna get into that.
sorry. You make me angry sometimes, George. I apologize.
What would you-
I love Loki. I love how we were about to get into another argument, and you asked him a question to divert his like attention from me. That was very sly. I don't know if you meant to do that, but like I could feel it.
Does it look like I meant to do
Yeah,
that?
it totally did. Because I was about to go in on George, and we were about to get into another argument, and Eversini's just like, so like, I was like, yes, good job. That's why you're here. Keep us on point. But like, I don't understand why you don't like think this is a bigger deal than.
Because I didn't have that information.
I mean, like,
Okay.
I mean that's fair.
That's it.
That's
Like,
fair. That's
I'll
fair.
admit, like, I'm just innocent until proven guilty. You know, that whole mindset.
I don't follow that rule for him. I follow for everyone else, but not for him.
Yeah, you
I will
probably
sue.
should.
Nope. He's done too many bad things for me to ever trust him again. Don't care.
Trust him in the first place.
Because I mean, at a certain point when he got elected, I looked at it. I was like, okay, there can't be this many crazy racist people in the world, right? In our country, right? So part of me was like, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something that I didn't notice, something that I didn't catch, something that he did that was good. And so I was like, all right, maybe this isn't going to be so bad. Maybe we can make it. No, lost all hope in that. Now I don't trust him. I don't like him. Honestly, if he walked up to my front door, I'd probably slam the door in his fucking face. I don't care what title he has.
That's respectable.
Like that's just how, like if he had just gotten elected, I'd still be a little salty at him. But I mean, he's the president. You know, you got to let him in your house. But like, from what I've seen from this past term, no, there's nothing that man could do and say up to this point. Like he could literally do the greatest thing that any president has ever done for the black community. Still wouldn't like him.
What would that
Don't
be?
care. I don't know. I'm just just throwing an example out there. But like, I wouldn't like him. I've lost all faith in him.
Yeah. By the way, do you remember around the time he was elected? Everyone was like, "Oh, you just gotta give him a chance. Gotta give him a chance."
Yeah.
You remember every other political analyzer was sitting there like, "This is what we get. Don't give him a chance. We already got a chance. He's gonna be exactly like he was on the campaign."
True. But I think, because that's what I felt for a little bit, but I think I just fell into this. I just held on to my hope too long.
No.
To hope that he wasn't as bad as he is.
Hope left with
But
Obama.
now it's like he's hopeless. He's gone. Like that man is. He might be the devil. Like I'm not even joking. Like he is a terrible human being. I don't think I've ever hated. Like I don't like to hate people. But I don't think I've ever hated someone as much as I hate that man. Like honestly. Because like I've come to this realization because I was sitting in my car and I had just read this NFL players article and what he had said to them, and I'm listening to, I was listening to that Logic song I talked about earlier, but with Killer Mike in it. And as I'm listening to Killer Mike make this speech or whatever, I thought about it, I was like, I have like so much hate inside of me for this man right now. It's unreal. And I've never I don't hate people. Like I just don't. If I don't like you, I don't have the energy or time of day for you. But there's something about him that makes me hate him.
Yeah, it's not just like fuck that guy. It's I want this motherfucker in my life to hate him.
Yeah, it's weird, and I didn't like it. And so I'm sitting there driving down I-70, about to get on I-465, and I'm just like fuming for no reason. I had just read this article, listened to this song, and I just got angry. Like I was mad. Like I was just sitting there pissed off. Every time someone even slowed down, I was cussing them out. I was so mad. So I just, it's just this week for me has been really weird because I just had this built up inside of me, and now I can just be like, on this microphone, just be like, "Fuck you, Donald Trump," just with the most amount of venom you can ever have.
This is 10 times more cathartic than screaming at your windshield.
This is true. But yeah, this whole entire week I've just been like, I honestly haven't even like looked at a lot of articles other than these ones I have, and it was like because I've just been so focused on like why I hate this man so much, and just looking and trying to find a reason for it. But
Yeah.
there's no valid reason, I guess, to hate someone that much.
To an extent.
Nah,
He has done some pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, what is that hate gonna do for me? You know, like.
Make him not reelect him. Remember why you don't like
Well,
him.
I was never gonna reelect him to begin with, but
Why?
because he's a terrible president.
Because you hate him.
I mean, no. But I'm the kind of dude who always believes that if you don't like somebody and you have hate for them, get rid of it because it's gonna do nothing but eat you up.
You can use it as motivation.
No,
Spite is a great motivation.
I'm not that kind of. I can't be motivated by stuff like that. Like I just can't.
I'm like that old like DeLorean from Back to the Future 2. I can run on anything you put in me.
Oh my god.
Just give me enough motivation.
How does he make these references? Like, how does he connect these things? I don't understand. That was so like, we were over here on the left side. You went like all the way to Asia, just all the way over there to the right. That was just.
I like Japan. What can I say?
Oh my god.
Do you know Carmel has a sister city in Japan?
No.
It does. It fucks me up.
Why does that fuck you up?
Because they're nothing alike. They were. How dare you, Afrosini?
That's the one way to piss George off real quick.
No. Yes, but no.
All right, you already. I need to get this Trump. I'm done talking about this man.
Well, I was trying to talk about our sister city in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying we need.
It makes no sense why they're sister cities. They were not built around the same time. Don't have a similar population. Nothing.
You really.
There's a
studied
lot
this,
of
bro.
cities that have sister cities, and none of them really make sense. It's just something somebody decided.
Yeah, like most things in the world. Yeah, just kind of an arbitrary thing.
You could almost say people are fucking goofy.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna hack your phone and
You,
make
ta-
that.
you use your one.
Nope.
Yeah.
She said, "That's it. That's it. You're
Stifling
done.
my freedom
You're
of speech.
done."
How dare you?
All right, so I think we should move on from Trump because I'm gonna.
Okay, what do you have?
I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. So there was a. I'm gonna just like read you part of this article because it totally screwed me up in the head because I was so confused as to why someone wants to do this if it will work. I don't think it's gonna work. I'll just do it from memory. Anyway, so I don't. This kid's. There was a kid. There were two kids. One was a female. One was a male. The female was like.
Boy and a girl.
What difference is it like? One was 15. The other the female was 15. The male was 16. The girl's name was Chandra. It was Jchandra. Sorry, I misspelled your name. I mean, you're dead now, but sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Spoilers.
So she basically wanted to kill herself, right? Which it's never the answer. You know, you can always fight through it, whatever the what. But so she reached out. So she was talking to one of her friends at the time. His name was Tyrell, a white dude. And basically, he had like some Polish last name. It was very confusing. I don't. He was a ginger too. I don't understand. But anyway, so she's like telling him how she feels and things like that. And he texts one of his other friends. Like they have the text messages this dude sent.
Oh, okay.
He's like, what do you do? It was basically like, what do you do if one of your friends wants to kill themselves? He was asking the kid that. I don't know the other kid's name. But the kid was like, well, you tell them not to do it. Be there for them. Don't let them do that. And then Tyrell texted back, no, I think I'm going to help her. Like, I want to help her kill herself. I'm fucked up, but that's so awesome. I was like, that just came out of nowhere. It's like you're watching a movie and they just like threw the biggest twist in the world at you. It was like crazy. So he basically plans this out with her. He buys all the equipment she needs. He buys a rope for a noose. He buys an air compressor to basically take her breath out of her faster, and then videotaped it.
Oh, shit.
So she's standing on this rock. He makes the noose for her. He puts it around her neck. She starts losing. He starts taking the air out of like her oxygen from her, and
Puts a vacuum cleaner up to her mouth, essentially.
yeah, and so she starts to faint. Well, when you faint, your body goes limp, and it's just hanging. So she basically hung herself. And he videotaped it, and while she's dying, he's basically giving a play-by-play of what's going on. And he's basically like, I need to take her. You basically explain what he's doing. He's like, I need to take all the oxygen out from her body so that she can die. Like, there's like video evidence of this. And so the police find her a couple days later, and like away from where she was killed. He had like taken her body somewhere.
Yep.
Tell me why this dude went to the crime scene. It's like, I know her. This dude is so screwed up. It blew my mind.
Well, that's the thing. Some people like to get
Yeah.
caught after the act. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. So he goes there. He's like, I know her. So they're like, okay. So they start asking him questions, start doing some investigation. He basically told on himself. He was like, yeah, I helped her do it. I planned this out with her. I wanted to help her die. Whereas, like, those were his exact words. I wanted to help her die. Now they're charging him with murder and desecration of a human body. I think is the. But there are some people, because it's in Utah. It takes place in I think it might take place in Utah because I saw Utah a lot in there. Yeah, it takes place in Utah, but there's a similar case in Connecticut. That's what it was. Okay, anyway, so it takes place in Utah, and there's no assisted suicide like law in Utah. There's not a crime assisted suicide, so they're charging him with first degree murder. And some people are like, no, you can't do that because he's not the one who committed the act.
Here's the thing: even in states where they have, or countries where they have an assisted suicide law, it's a medical professional who has to do it. Like, you have to go to them, be like, I want to kill myself. Like, all right, sign these forms, wait like a couple days, and then we'll give you this shot, and lights out.
But
It's a
that's
doctor.
basically like why they put Dr. Death in jail. Because that's what he was doing.
What was that dude's real name?
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
But that's what he was doing, is he was helping people end their lives.
Yeah.
And it's murder.
Which
I don't think so. I think it's assisted suicide.
we've talked about it before. I think we've talked about how it depends on what it is in the situation.
Never on a podcast we released it.
Did we not?
No.
Oh.
Never on any of the ones we released.
I didn't know we didn't release it. Awkward. Anyway, but his defense is basically saying, he didn't do it. Her last name was Brown. They're like, Brown was the one who decided to do it. She died by her own hand. But the prosecutor's like, but he gave her all the tools to do it and kind of egged her on to do it.
And he was the one that flipped the switch that took all of her oxygen.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is absolutely murder, even if what's it called, assisted suicide was legal. This is not the way you go about doing it.
Yeah, it's true. But there was the case in Connecticut. The same thing kind of happened. It was like it wasn't like the exact same situation, but there was an assisted suicide situation, and the kid got charged with murder. It was recent too. I don't remember what the dude's name was. It was two guys, and he got charged with murder, and now they're going into they're appealing it, obviously, and they're going into how long he's going to be sentenced for and all that stuff. So, but it's like the same thing, but it's just slight differences here or there, because this kid actually like the kid, I believe the kid in the one that happened in Connecticut or Massachusetts, I don't know which one it was. I think he actually did it. Like, he actually was I'm not gonna say, I want to say key role, but they're both key roles. But he actually was hands on with it, I guess. Yeah. Whereas this Tyrell guy was just kind of recording it. But he has
with a vacuum.
Yeah. Well, but he has the last 10 minutes of this girl's life on video somewhere. What has our country come to?
Did they check his phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they got a subpoena to check his phone, or a warrant, or whatever you want to call it. It is a warrant, not a subpoena. I'm dumb. Anyway, they got a warrant to check his phone, and they found all these kids' text messages, even though, like I said, the text messages he found from his friend and things like that. And, I mean, first of all, this kid's got some balls. The audacity to go back to that crime scene where you dropped that body off, that's a ballsy motherfucker right there. Because, he was just walking into the lion's den and thought he could survive. Now he's caught up. It was funny because the picture they have him on the article, he looks so sad. I'm like,
well, his friend just died. Won't you go?
But what's fucked up is he texted the other guy, the guy he's been texting about it. He texted him and was like, I feel so guilty. I'm like, then why did you? What is wrong with you? How have we come to a point where this is a thing?
Well, I mean, you don't know the situation, right?
I mean, there's no situation
This
where it's
is a
okay
fuck
to
up no matter what.
Yeah,
way you
there's
cut it,
no
man.
way to.
Right.
This kid he's sick in the head, and
I mean, I don't really agree with that.
why?
Oh, with what?
That he's fucked up in the head.
There's one thing to help someone.
This is the
take
first
their
time me
own
and George
life.
are on the same side. I'm going to sit closer to him. This is
Yeah.
exciting, bro. This is great. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
But he videotaped it.
Right. Maybe she requested that.
Yeah, true. That'd be right.
I mean, that's fine. That doesn't mean you're not fucked up in the head.
And why?
It's
does-
if
For
I
going along with it.
yeah, if I asked you, if I told you I'm going to kill myself, and I was like, can you videotape it for me while I blow my brains out? What normal human's going to be like? Sure. No.
I mean, I'm sure that's not how it happened.
Probably not.
I
But
mean, that's essentially what happened.
quick thing. She's gonna die. Why didn't they use her money?
That's a good
Why don't they
question.
use her what?
Money.
Because he's the one who bought all this stuff. They found out he bought it.
Well,
He wanted to see her die. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
I'm sure
he
of in
went
this
to the
situation.
store and was bought all these things. He's fucked up in the head.
Yeah,
FLCD.
this dude wanted to see
No,
a dead
I think
body.
that- I kind of feel like, and I'm still a little iffy about this, but it's just something that's been up there for a while. I don't know. I don't think it should be bad if you want to commit suicide.
Oh no,
I think that you should be able to do that if you
ask
want
these
to.
two. I have no problem with people committing suicide. I think there's probably a
But
couple
yeah,
different ways
right,
to solve your
I
problems.
see where you're going.
But if you feel like doing it, hey, go ahead.
I mean, I also see problems that could arise from that, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm gonna be super honest. It's gonna be a very, very mean thing to say,
Mm.
but killing yourself is the pussy way to go out. Like, I hate to say it, but it is.
yeah,
Like, there's
to
not
an
like
extent.
there's people in this world who care about you. You're not thinking about them. You're being selfish.
Yeah, live your life on your own terms.
Like, I know it's hard for them to like understand that because with the space they're in, and that's fair. But at the end of the day, you're being selfish because you're not thinking about other people in your life who care
also,
about you.
not to mention, 9 times out of 10, like, yeah,
Word-
fuck,
words, words.
I didn't know what point I was trying to make. I actually
love
refuted
it.
my own point in my head.
God damn it, George. But like, it's the coward's way out.
Hey man, if someone doesn't want to be here, then don't want to be there. Like, imagine this: if everyone was at a party having fun, but your one friend wasn't.
That's literally totally.
It's an analogy, jackass. Go along with it.
But
What the
that's-
fuck is wrong with you? You know exactly what I'm trying to say. You know exactly what I'm trying to say.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you're at a party, everyone else having fun, your fucking friend's sitting there miserable, but every time he wants to go home, you're like, dude, the fuck is wrong with you, man? Think of us. We want you here. That's selfish. You want that person around. They don't want to be here.
There's a difference between that and life.
Okay, great. That person wants to die. You want them to be here. You want them to be miserable because it'd make you less miserable.
No.
That's not at all.
That's
what
not
he's
it. That's
trying
not
to
what it
say.
means.
Do happy people kill themselves?
No. But you have to work through it.
Yes, sometimes it's
So-
just not enough.
The problem is life fucking sucks.
Yes.
And sometimes it sucks more for some people than it does for others.
Yes.
And I understand that it can also be a chemical imbalance in the brain. But we have ways to deal with it. We have ways to cope with it. We have ways to work through it.
Yes, and
Taking
some
your own
people-
life and not thinking about how much good you could do for the world, how much these other people care about you, not thinking about how much your parents care about you, how much your significant other cares about you, if you have kids, how much they need you, that's fucking selfish.
To an extent, like I said, you have to live your own life. I'm not saying kill yourself.
That's the point. They're
No,
not living
yeah,
the life.
Kill
George.
yourself.
You just rebutted yourself right there.
Okay.
You're saying,
Make
wait,
your own
wait,
decisions.
wait,
Make
wait.
your own decisions.
You're saying people can gladly kill themselves. You don't care. But people need to be free to live their own lives. That's the term right there, is live their own lives. They
Make your
have to
own
live it.
choices. Once again, I have to be specific as fuck. He knew exactly what I meant, but I was just like, there you stand that instead of this. Fine then, make your own choices.
That was rude to the mentally challenged community, sir. You don't need to be talking like that. That's rude. Say you're sorry. I'm just kidding.
No, even if you were being serious, I'd tell you to go fuck yourself. You know who you're dealing with.
But like, honestly, like,
say it again.
What?
Say it again. Say what you're gonna say. Keep going.
Because it's. I know she's looking at me like she really wants to fight me right now, and that's fine.
I'm not
We-
gonna fight you.
both of us
I
here,
have a
no?
question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you suffer with mental illness?
I personally don't know, but
So
someone very close to me does.
Okay. So how can you put yourself in that position when you've never been put in that position?
I mean, that's a fair thing to say because I will never fully understand it. But at the end of the day, there's people who have worked through it all the time. There's examples of people that you can follow that have been in those dark places you have and have been able to make it through. So what makes you less strong than them?
Well, see, I completely agree with what Brandon's saying. And I've had times where I've thought about it and I've realized it's the wrong fucking thing to do. Like, there's some times in life where everything just seems to be going wrong.
Why are you laughing?
What is so funny?
It hasn't been your day, your week, your month, nothing.
Why are you
Sorry.
doing? Shut up.
Are you quoting Friends?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That just happened.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
But yeah, there's plenty of times where life just beats the shit out of you, but you have to understand it's a roller coaster. It's ups and downs. Like, it's not going to be happy-go-lucky 24/7. So,
And again, there are those instances where it is a chemical imbalance.
yeah.
But I hate the fact that we have to use pills to fix that. But I mean, those things stable you out to a certain degree.
Yeah, but they also have very bad
Yeah,
negative
they have
side effects.
terrible side effects. But at the end of the day, they're still there to help you, and you not even giving it a chance
Yeah,
And
but
just-
what if you do give it a chance and it's not something that's for you?
It's a case by case situation.
But even then, you can always work through it. There's nothing in this world like if we weren't meant to, if we were meant to be depressed our entire life and want to kill ourselves, the human race would have died out years ago.
So you're saying it's unnatural?
No, but I'm saying like if we weren't able to work through the things that we go through all the time, our race would have never survived. Our species would have never survived. We beat challenges every day. We go through life every day. We face difficult things every day. You just have to be able to understand that you're strong enough to do it, and not think that you're so weak that you have to take your own life. Because that's ultimately what it comes down to. You just think you can't do it.
Here's the thing where I think I know I'm getting at this point. I don't know if Efrosini's trying to get to this point. No one's saying that we should take away the option to work it out. We're just saying, hey, sometimes it doesn't work out. No matter who you are, sometimes you really just can't battle your own demons.
No, you can. You always can. Like,
They did it in
I
it.
guess my struggle.
shut up, God, you too.
Time to float.
He said they did it in It, the movie. The
They
clown.
battled
Yeah.
their demon and
Yeah,
won.
Yeah.
Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Sorry.
Stop. Go
I
ahead.
guess the thing that bothers me is that it's coming from a person who doesn't deal with that on a
And
day-to-day
that's
basis.
fair. That's fair. But I mean,
Because it's super easy to be able to say that and not have to deal with anything.
like I said, I know there's plenty of people I know that have wanted to do it. There's people who've talked to me who said they want to do it, and every time they've been strong enough and willing to fight it.
I think
Well,
most people.
good for them.
I think
Yeah,
most
and
people.
I feel like obviously I didn't say like, oh, if you're gonna kill yourself, you're a pussy, because that's the wrong way to handle that situation. But if you look at it, if you look at your life as an entirety as a whole, that moment in your life you are weak, and I understand that. But to take your life in that moment is the coward thing to do, because you're afraid of going forward. You're just scared. You're scared of feeling like this for the rest of your life. You're scared of having to deal with depression, anxiety, whatever you got going on. You're scared to deal with that for the rest of your life. And that's, I mean, again, I'm not like a psychologist, so I don't really know. But like, I feel like that's most of the time what the problem is, that they're just scared. They don't want to feel like that for the rest of their life.
Basically, what you're trying to say is a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it's a coward thing to do.
Cowardly.
Because you're thinking in the short term, not in the entirety of your life. And you're not thinking about all the people who are in your life. You're thinking about yourself.
Well, who else would you think about?
I mean, it's fair that they think about themselves, but I'm saying, like, to do that is just a selfish thing to do.
I'm just saying we should have the option.
I mean, they're never going to, you can do whatever you want. They're not going to take the option away. It's not like,
True, but
Yeah, but if you don't succeed,
I mean, yeah, I
There's
think
repercussions.
I think it's dumb that they have a law that, like, if you don't succeed, you have to, like, be like, I don't even know what, is it, you just have to go to sit in a hospital for a long time, so isn't it? Or is there an actual
Well, it's
law
like
that says you go to
the,
jail for that?
I don't know, but there is one instance where the dude tried to shoot himself in the head and like blew half his head off and lived.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
also pregnant women.
Hmm.
It's criminal. It's like a criminal thing.
Yeah,
because
I
you're
mean-
carrying a fetus or whatever.
That gets into a whole other thing, because if you do consider, like, the fetus a human, or if you don't, that's like, I mean, that's,
Right.
but
quick thing. Do you think we should allow people who are in comas, like for years and years and years, should they be allowed to be unplugged, taken off life support and such?
that's not an issue. Like, people are allowed to be taken off life support.
it can be an issue sometimes.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really can.
It's not because of the people that are in that situation. It's because because the people around him or around them that are in that situation. Like, if you're married and you've had this conversation with your spouse, be like, hey, if I'm a vegetable, unplug that bitch. But your parents say no. That's when it gets into, like, I understand that you're married and whatnot, but like those families fight each other at that point because your parents want you to stay alive, but you've explained to your wife that, like, that's where it gets a gray line, because some people don't write that stuff down. Some people don't, put that in documentation. So it's like a he said,
That's
she said kind of
where-
situation.
The DNRs come in handy. It's do not resuscitate, medical bracelets or tags usually.
Yeah.
Quick thing. Since we're talking about suicide, I just want to mention one thing. Most people who try to commit suicide and lived immediately regretted trying to commit suicide. Just
I
letting you
mean-
guys know that.
I agree with that, but I wouldn't say most, because
Okay, because all of them.
No, not all of them have. Because you know why all of them haven't? Because there are people who've done it more than once and failed more than once. That's not funny.
No, I was reminded of a George Carlin bit.
Oh, did he say something about like if you suck at trying to kill yourself, you should probably just die anyway?
No,
or something
it
like
was that men commit suicide more often, but women attempt it more. So
that? Oh
men
my
are better
god!
at it.
Why?
It's George Carlin, man.
Your mind is like. You should see how Efrosini is looking at this man right now. He is.
Why do you think I'm avoiding eye contact?
My old coworker actually walked into a room, and his best friend had a zip tie around his neck, and was blue.
Jesus.
Cut it off, saved his life,
Yeah.
and now the guy has like 4 kids and a wife, and is doing really well.
Yeah.
Like,
So like I said,
could you imagine walking into the room and
Bruh.
one of the 3 of us
Bruh.
like passed out blue?
Listen, when you wake up, I'd probably beat your ass for making me do that, honestly, because like I'd be so mad at you. But you know, it's fine. Yeah, that's a rough situation. But
yeah.
oh my god, that was so loud.
Anyway,
I feel like I've struck a nerve with you here.
It's fine.
No, I mean, you know, it's.
that's what we're here to do. We're here to piss people off and make them think.
I mean, I wouldn't say piss people off. Make them think.
80%
Make them think. I like, but piss people off.
Especially
like,
about Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Fuck off.
God, shut
20%
up.
of our audience should be horrified at all times. No.
Shut up. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I just think, I guess, where we can probably agree
Yeah.
is not to generalize.
Yeah. I mean, I like to generalize because
Because
it's easier to talk in
Right,
specifics.
but
I mean, I talk fine.
in terms of like serious topics, there are like some instances where things aren't always how they seem. Right?
I still say don't kill yourself.
Okay.
But
Don't
I,
kill
feel,
yourself.
I know. What
I
you're-
mean, I'm not encouraging people.
No,
to
I know.
kill
I know. You're
themselves.
not. I know you're not.
right
But
now.
See,
No, don't
instead
do it.
of encouraging people to go kill themselves, we should just encourage them to go fuck themselves.
And
you'd
get
be
mental
so-
help.
Okay. Because
Wait.
you'd be like in a euphoric state after that, right? Like you'd just be like, I don't have no problems in the world, right?
Oh, literally? Okay.
Flush
So,
Some people like hang themselves while they're killing.
Stop. That's weird.
And that's how we get autoerotic.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. She is baffled at us right now. She is so mad that she.
that's not a suicide thing.
It's an.
It's really not.
I know, but still, it's funny. But
That's not funny.
it's kind of funny.
Oh my god. Look, okay. Well, I think all of us here can agree suicide is not always the first option you should go with. Never think that you need to kill yourself. Just, I just have a different way of thinking about it than the rest of you do.
I think most people have thought about suicide, actually.
I can say I've never have thought about it really.
Hmm.
I'd never because when you see it on TV, you're like, damn, like what if I were in that situation? How would I feel? But like I never thought about like how my life is like so like hard and so bad that I need to do that. Like I've honestly never thought
Would
about
you
it.
say that you're privileged in that regards?
Yeah, because I have a great family, great friends, and I'm
Quick thing, can we talk about one thing? It's gonna be the most. Once again, it's me being over specific, way over specific.
I love how you just interrupted me while I was talking.
Oh wait, go for it, real quick.
No, just go ahead. No, you're already
Can we stop using the term white privilege and find something better?
no, because that's what it is.
No, because it's not that white. Everyone should be treated as white people are, yeah.
Yeah,
So white people are treated normally. It's that black people are being treated as less than. People of color being treated.
okay, I
as
see
less
where
than.
you're coming from.
It's kind of like normalizing how they're being treated.
I get what you're
instead
saying.
of normalizing how we're being treated.
But no. No.
It's not a privilege not to get shot by the police. No. We're making it seem like that, and that's a scary thought to have.
Do you know the term racial profiling?
Yes,
Do you know what that means?
it means you are judging someone based on their race.
Right. Am I going to get racially profiled by the police?
No,
Is that a privilege?
it's not. It's normal.
Then what is
behavior.
it? It's
normal
normal, behavior.
behavior.
It's normal behavior. We should normalize that everyone should be treated as
That's
that.
not the way it goes. That's not how it is.
Yeah, but we should.
I see what he's saying. It's
Right.
just not a good
Like I said,
argument.
I'm just gonna
was
shut up and
just
let
me
y'all handle
being-
this, 'cause I'm
it's
so,
just me
like-
being way over specific.
Right.
Because it makes it seem like as if.
So like wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
How so? I didn't.
Okay, Cody, come here for a minute.
Oh, dear.
Oh God.
George, say what you just said to us to him.
So. I'm saying we should find a better term for the phenomenon known as white privilege because it makes it seem how people of color are being treated as normal, when in reality, how white people are being treated as normal. Everyone should be treated as white people are treated in this country.
Wait, what?
Okay,
Okay, run that back.
so we should find a better term
Yeah.
for the phenomena of white privilege
Okay.
because that makes it seem as though how white people are being treated is
Greater than
yes.
which?
No, it is, but it makes it seem like it's an abnormal thing. It's a normal thing. Everyone should be treated as white people are being treated in this country. So you're normalizing.
I kind of see what you're saying.
Yeah. It's the most dumbest thing. I just felt like making that point because I thought about it this week.
It makes me so mad.
I see what you're saying though. It's like it's making it seem less like
Yeah.
abnormal, like it's not common.
Yeah.
Like because you're giving it something that's like white privilege makes it sound like it's just a unicorn thing. Like sometimes white people get treated better. It's that white privilege. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I see what you're saying, but I don't know. Just
I understand the use of the phrase. I understand the use of the phrase.
George,
Brandon,
I hate you.
you can hate me all you want.
Phil.
I don't understand. Like, I understand what you're trying to say, but I understand why the word shouldn't be privilege.
I get what you're saying, but I still disagree with you on the fact like I see why you would think it makes it seem like abnormal, but I don't know. I think the phrase completes it, like hits it right on the head.
Yeah.
White privilege.
Like I said, it's just me being way over specific.
Yeah.
Like, you understand that, like, you walking down the
You're the-
street you essentially have more rights than I do walking down the street, right?
Yes.
So you have more privileges
hold up.
than I do.
Who's being treated normally?
Brandon, everybody's allowed to walk down the street,
Shut up, you
Damn.
stupid bitch.
so it's
No,
not a
no,
privilege.
but
Shut up.
No
once again,
handicapped people.
the only point I'm trying to make, I'm not even going to stop using the term white privilege because as right now it's the best thing that fits.
That's
This
the
is
only
just-
thing that fits. What? Okay, hold on. Okay, what else would you want to replace it with?
People privilege,
What?
human rights.
I don't understand.
I don't.
It's not a privilege.
Discrimination against people
It's
of
a
color.
right. Everybody should be treated equally.
It shouldn't be a privilege.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
That's the problem. That's
Yeah,
why
that's the point I'm trying to make.
But, like, what else would you want to call it other than white privilege?
Discrimination against people of color.
Discrimination. Go ahead.
Discrimination against
I mean,
people of color.
that's acknowledging that there's a problem, but not accepting the fact that you have white privilege.
It's not accepting the fact that you are basically in this country greater than me.
A little uncomfortable with
No.
your white privilege?
Ask these two. I have no problem with admitting
Oh,
white
no,
privilege
he's
exists.
just- but that's what it means. It's saying that you have more privileges than I do because of the color of your skin.
Yes, I'm just saying that we should, instead of viewing what I have as more than, we should view as what I have as normal. That you have less than. Not that you are less than, but you have less than.
Oh.
Cody, help me, please.
No,
Cody.
no. I get it. I get what he's getting at. I do.
Literally, I am totally fine with getting rid of this subject. I just wanted to make that one fucking point.
Because in a way, when you're adding the
Talking to the mic.
Okay, because in a way, when you're adding the white privilege, it's almost like making it a positive connotation. If you were to change it to the people of color, like if you're changing the phrase to the people of color having a negative connotation, then it would seem like a problem to other people. So as opposed to like white privilege, it's kind of like, yeah, I got that shit. But if you're saying like, blacks without privilege, then it has a negative connotation, and that kind of skews the way people would hear the phrase. I see what he's saying. That's, what I'm saying?
You're shit at explaining things. Because you literally said.
How is that any different from what I just said?
Because you literally said white people have more than, and you have less than. You
No.
said the exact. Like,
No. Instead of viewing us as what we have, okay. Let me put it to you like this: how do you solve white privilege? How do you solve white privilege? You drag white people down to the bottom. How do you solve people of color being
that's the
discriminated?
opposite of what you want to do. You don't want to drag people down. You want
That's what he's saying.
That's what the connotation brings. You fucking by putting people on the pedestal. Never mind. Changes the subject.
No, go.
No. Because
Go.
no matter what the fuck I do,
Go.
you're
I'm
too
listening.
stupid to understand.
I'm not being stupid. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Also a Greek thing.
Yeah.
Can't we be friends?
Okay, so what you're
I don't
saying?
understand what you're not getting about this.
Okay.
Please explain, because I'm freaking the fuck out.
'Cause you're
and I need to
saying-
calm down. I need to calm down.
Because I feel like you're essentially agreeing with what I'm saying.
We're both making the same point. I'm just saying
No, you're
find a
arguing-
better term.
What's wrong with the term? The term is exactly what it is.
Okay,
Okay.
so
the
we
pro-
need to get rid of white privilege.
what
No,
George is
no. Shut up. No one fucking interrupt me. We need to get rid of white privilege, yeah? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So how should we be treated then?
Who? You white
Yes,
people?
white people. If we're going to get rid of white privilege, how should we be treated?
Like everyone
What's-
else.
Okay, so who is the baseline? Who is normal in this situation? People of color?
I mean,
Because they're
God,
being
no.
discriminated against, they're being shot by the police, they're being kept down by systemic racism. Is that how everyone should be treated?
No.
So should everyone be treated as white people are, not being held down by systemic racism, not being shot by the police, not being discriminated against? So white people are being treated how everyone should be treated. Yeah?
Yes. Why didn't you explain that the way that you just did?
Because I didn't think I had to break it down that much for you.
That's what the point of having a fucking conversation is, stupid.
Ba-da-da-da.
Like you literally said, white people are more than, black people are less
no,
than.
white people are being treated than more than, when in reality what they have is normal.
All right, whatever. Whatever.
Okay.
I just feel like you don't
Feels like
understand
I
the
ended this,
concept
like, 5
of black
minutes ago.
privilege. I don't
Yes.
think you understand the concept of white privilege. Like I think that's
No,
the
I
problem.
understand the concept perfectly. I'm just saying.
Brandon,
let's find a
you're
better
misunderstanding. Okay.
Term. No,
What-
The phenomena is real. Find a better term. And not to mention, never mind.
Well,
Like
you got-
like a more inclusive term? Is that what you're looking for?
What do you mean?
Well, I what kind of term would be better?
Just
That's what I'm
one-
trying to understand. Like
Just one that
One that doesn't.
points out the problem. It's not that.
Okay.
That's it.
We're
That's all I
being
mean.
treated better. It's that we're
does that
treating
not
everybody
but,
else like
okay,
shit.
Here's my point. Okay, I feel that, but I feel like white privilege is the same thing because if you have white privilege, you have more than
Do you know
everyone
what
else who
privilege
isn't
means?
white.
You know what privilege means? You have more than people.
What the fuck did I just say?
look, Phil said it best.
But what'd you say?
I don't remember.
God damn it! I'm saying
Okay. What I said is we need to have a term that doesn't single out white people as the issue. The problem is anybody that's not white is being treated like shit
yes.
by this country. And we need to get to a point where everybody is being treated equally.
Okay, but I don't understand how white privilege doesn't point that out because
Because it's pointing out
White privilege is saying that the white people have more privilege, right? When you're using that phrase over and over and over and over and over again, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like beating into your head like white people have all this privilege, but you're not really getting to the problem.
so I'm just
So
thinking.
if you change it to something as like say blacks without privilege, right? Then it skews what the conversation is. It changes it to the problem. Now people are looking at it like, okay, black people without privilege,
Is
or
this 'cause I'm
people of
too-
color without privilege. Now wait, right?
okay, go ahead.
So it's not that per se the privilege is the problem. It's that
The lack of
it's the
privilege.
lack of privilege for the other people. So white privilege is George is saying that it's a bad term because really you're not pointing out the problem. You're just like, these people are doing better because of their skin, as opposed to saying, well,
we need to
the
figure out
people-
why.
the white people are making it harder for the black people. That's where the conversation should be.
So I just think of it like
You're just looking at it too.
You're an idiot.
no, that's not. I'm saying like because when I hear white privilege, I think that okay, so
You view a
No, so you understand the conversation.
yes, that's
You-
the problem.
Yeah, you
Okay.
already understood the conversation. The problem George is saying with the phrase is that maybe it doesn't create the right conversation with other people.
Okay. All right. We're good.
And with that, thank you for listening to the Classical Era podcast.
That's fine. Peace
My
out.
name's OG Philly G.
I'm George Georgopoulos,
It's Baby Ice
aka
Cube.
Furious George.
Eversini.
And in the corner we have Cody.
That's Cody!
His name's Cody.
His name's
So-
Frank.
Peace out.